Have you ever wondered why birth control is still such a taboo topic in the Philippines? Why so many people are scared to even talk about it, let alone use it? Well, let me explain why you see so many single moms on Filipino dating apps. Let's start with something important. The Philippines is one of the most conservative countries in Asia. In many Filipino households, the idea of the birds and the bees just doesn't come up. Parents don't have the talk, unless by talk you mean yelling not to get anyone pregnant. And schools, well, even in health class, things are often taught in a very PG way. Yes, sex education technically exists, but in reality, most students only hear about menstruation or anatomy, not contraception or condoms. Even though a law passed in 2012 called for comprehensive reproductive health education, many schools still avoid the topic altogether. Why? Because it's still seen as too taboo, too sensitive, or too Western. So young Filipinos are often left to figure things out on their own, or worse, based on rumors or myths. Then there's religion. The Philippines is the only country in Southeast Asia where the majority of the population is Catholic, over 80%. And the Catholic Church still holds a tremendous amount of influence, not just in politics, but in everyday life and personal decisions. For many devout Filipinos, using modern contraceptive methods like pills, IUDs, or even condoms is often seen as morally wrong, a sin. It's considered a violation of nature and something that goes against God's plan for procreation and family. This religious belief is deeply ingrained, passed down through generations, shaping how people view birth control, not just as a medical choice, but a spiritual issue. Even when individuals want to be responsible and prevent unplanned pregnancies, the fear of guilt or judgment from their community and church can be overwhelming. Many feel torn between their personal needs and their faith's teachings. That guilt? It's powerful. It influences behavior, making some avoid contraception altogether or hide their use from family and partners. This strong religious influence also affects public policy. Laws and government programs promoting reproductive health continue to face stiff opposition from church leaders, limiting access to family planning services for many Filipinos. But it's not just about religion, it's also about misinformation. Many Filipinos, especially women, grow up hearing myths and false claims about birth control that create fear and confusion. For example, common rumors include, "Those pills will make you infertile. They cause cancer." And one of the more ridiculous ones, "If you take that stuff, you'll grow a tail." Okay, maybe not literally, but you get the point. These kinds of misconceptions spread easily. Even though the internet is available, reliable and culturally sensitive information about contraceptives isn't always easy to find or trust. Plus, misinformation and rumors often travel faster and feel more believable when people don't have open conversations or trusted sources to turn to. On top of that, birth control is often stigmatized. There's a widespread belief that if you use contraceptives, you must be doing something naughty or promiscuous. This kind of judgment creates a culture of silence. Instead of asking questions or seeking medical advice, many people stay quiet, confused, or afraid to admit they want to use birth control. This lack of honest conversation and education means many women either avoid contraception altogether or rely on unsafe or ineffective methods, which can lead to unplanned pregnancies and other health risks. Even healthcare providers sometimes contribute to the problem by not offering enough counseling or by sharing their own biases about contraception. So the result is a cycle. Misinformation fuels fear. Fear leads to silence, and silence keeps misinformation alive. By the way, if you want to dive deeper into dating and understanding Filipinas, I've created a detailed PDF guide at messagefilipina.com. It's packed with valuable tips and insights. Link in the description. All right, let's get back to the video. Now you might be thinking, okay, so pills are a problem, but what about condoms? You know, the classic little party hats. Yeah, about that. According to the 2017 Philippine National Demographic and Health Survey, only about 2% of married women and 3% of unmarried women reported that their partners had ever used condoms. That's basically almost no one. So why is condom use so low? The reasons are similar to those for low pill use, but with some unique twists. Embarrassment is a huge factor. Many Filipinos feel awkward or ashamed buying condoms, especially in smaller towns where everyone knows each other. Some believe condoms ruin the experience or kill the mood, which can discourage couples from using them. Others rely on trust and say, "We'll just be careful, promise," instead of using protection. But the truth is, condoms are one of the most effective ways to prevent both pregnancy and sexually transmitted infections. Yet stigma and perceptions make it difficult for many to choose them. And the embarrassment isn't just at the store counter. Even discussing condom use with a partner can be awkward or taboo, leading to misunderstandings or avoidance. This creates a gap in safe sex practices, putting many at risk despite their best intentions. And speaking of being careful, guess what the most popular method in the Philippines is? Withdrawal. Yup, pulling out and praying. No judgment here. We get it. Sometimes people do what they think is best with what they have. But let's be honest, it's definitely not the most reliable strategy out there. Maybe that's why babies seem to pop up like surprise guests at every family gathering. No surprise, the Philippines has one of the highest teenage pregnancy rates in Asia, proving that sometimes faith alone isn't enough when it comes to birth control. So yeah, if you're counting on pulling out and praying, you might want to have a backup plan, or at least some really good prayers ready. So why all the fear around birth control? Well, when you mix together strong religious influence that shapes people's beliefs, conservative families where topics about intimacy are basically off limits, misinformation that spreads like wildfire, peer pressure to do what everyone else does, and a real fear of being judged or labeled, you get a culture where even just thinking about birth control can feel like an act of rebellion. And it's not just women feeling this way. Most Filipino men aren't educated about being responsible when it comes to protection. This all adds up to a cycle that's hard to break. So if you've ever wondered why there are so many single moms in the Philippines, now you know. It's more complicated than it looks. Many people want to be responsible, but face barriers like lack of information, cultural pressure, and fear. Until proper education and honest conversations become normal, this cycle is likely to keep repeating. But change is possible, and talking about it is the first step. Thanks for watching. I hope this gave you a little more context into a topic that most people avoid. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more honest takes on life, love, and culture in the Philippines. Got thoughts or questions? Drop them in the comments. Just keep it respectful. And if you want to learn more, don't miss my other video, Dating a Filipina Mom, What You Need to Know. See you in the next one!